You know, I'm often asked as a speaker what it takes to create an energy that makes the audience pay attention. And I love to use the thought around safety. We all know that we need to wear a seatbelt. We all know that we have to wear the PPE, the personal protective equipment. And every year they run a week where they focus all of their energy on it. They bring in the safety speaker. Now I can imagine some of you are already rolling your eyes. These are the people that have had the near miss or the chemical burn or they've cut off a finger. And here's what I'm going to tell you. If you want to make your message sticky, make it personal. If I've got a chemical burn person, but I never work with chemicals, I already shut that person out. I don't care what they have to say because anything they have to say is not relevant to me. We need to appreciate two things about speakers. One is that the speaker needs to both grab my attention as quickly as possible and typically within the first 90 seconds for me to decide that what you have to say is relevant to me. And until then, I don't care. So when I talk to individuals, government organizations, associations about health and safety, as you can see, I've never been burned. I've not had those moments of lost limbs, but I have been to a lot of fatalities in my career, and I've done a lot of next of kin notifications. So one of the tactics that I sometimes do in the very beginning of a presentation is to simply walk up on stage, and while everybody's groaning and crossing their arms, oh, how is this going to be different? I say, hey, I noticed the seatbelts were all attached when I came in. That's okay. Somebody else is going to be happy to sleep with your wife next week. Because now I have your attention, and it's going to be different. You see, when we talk about why people do something, if we're going to talk about behavior, we got to understand why they don't. You know, no one sets out in a day not to go home tonight. No one says, this is the day I'm going to race my car and beat that next light, and this is the day I'm going to roll that car in a ditch and drown. No one does that. Although it's interesting in my policing career, how many people knew a friend who died with the seatbelt on, upside down in the ditch, filled with water. Everyone has the same friend. Did you ever notice that? The reality is, if we're going to shift the way we approach information, we have to make people personally accountable. That means it can't be about policies and procedures. It cannot be about near misses. We watch movies that are much more alarming than any speaker will ever do on the stage. We need to make sure that the information we share with somebody is real, it's raw, and it's relevant to them. And we do that by making it personal. And guess what? Not everybody is going to learn the lesson. But when I come on stage to talk about the people I knew, the people I've lost, it's not about horror. It's about waking them up to the family that's waiting for them at home. So the next time they're in a rush to make that meeting, or they're in a rush to get a project done so they can get home, that they just pause for a second and wonder, can I do something different? If we're not motivated ourselves, why the heck would we expect anyone to motivate us? The last time you were on an airplane and they stood up to do their talk about how to do up the lap belt, when did you pay attention to something you don't care about because you already know it?